Mitsubishi is a value brand, so when you're blowing it all at a Mitsubishi dealer, you're not really spending that much. In the mid-40s, you can get a fully optioned Outlander, which is the only 3-row SUV in the compact segment. You could seat up to 7 people. And for 2025, Mitsubishi has made some minor improvements to the outside and the inside to make it more comfortable. Let's take a look. The Mitsubishi Outlander in this generation has been new since 2022. It's based on the Nissan Rogue, but it comes with a standard 3rd row of seats, a snazzier interior, and the option for a plug-in hybrid. We've reviewed that plug-in over the last couple years. Here's the regular one. The Outlander has a pleasantly funky front end that's no longer outlandish. It seems ordinary among modern SUV style. Thin LEDs as DRLs up top, headlights stacked below. That's all standard on every Outlander, as is all the chrome trim, but the word Outlander spelled out, that's an option. You'll have to pay for that one. For 2025, Mitsubishi cleaned up the texture on the upper part of that grille. It's now solid black instead of having some little jagged lines here and there. That's the only difference for 2025. What I like about the Outlander is that it doesn't share any body panel. Not a door, not a hood, bumper, wheel, nothing with the Nissan Rogue. And yet, there's somehow room for a 3rd row in the back. I'll show you that in a little bit. For 2025, the only major change are these wheels. New wheel designs across most of those trims, and most of those trims have 20-inch wheels like this SEL. Only the base ES has 18s. Unlike the front, the rear of the Outlander isn't quite as memorable, but Mitsubishi has kept it clean and simple. The only change that you can see, aside from the taillights, which Mitsubishi says it has changed, I cannot really tell. I can definitely tell the lower bumper is different. They've changed those cutouts, so there's now a continuous line spanning across where there wasn't before. They've kept the 3 indentations, as you'll see there. They're in black. And the lower edges, the side edges really, are a slightly different angle. That is it. The Outlander uses Nissan mechanicals. In this case, the Rogue's engine prior to the 2022 model year. A 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4, 181 horsepower, 181 pound-feet of torque. Separately, there's the Outlander PHEV. That's the plug-in hybrid version of this same SUV. We've reviewed it separately, but let's show the horsepower and torque. They're definitely way up if that's the one you want. Costs just a little bit more. CVT transmission, that is standard across the board in either front or all-wheel drive, except on the Platinum Edition where all-wheel drive is standard. That is the top trim. Towing is only 2,000 pounds, but fuel efficiency for the regular gas Outlander, pretty decent. You can hit 30 mpg highway, EPA estimated, on the highway. The engine's noisy, but Mitsubishi has added more noise insulation for 2025. Supposedly lowers overall noise by 6 decibels, which is actually pretty significant, as decibels operate on a logarithmic scale. So even a couple decibels is actually multiplied in effect. So overall, it is pretty decently quiet. And that Yamaha stereo is also compensating for equalization and volume for road noise, AC, and rain. So there's a lot of attention paid to reducing noise and vibration. And that's fine, it's good. It's just that the engine itself, no matter which of the 6 driving modes you're in, it's really slow. The Nissan Rogue used to be this slow, but now it's using a turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. Watch that review. Major difference. Anything with a hybrid or a turbo in this compact segment really performs that much better. And this reminds me every bit why I didn't like the old Nissan engine, including with the CVT. Just the programming is not up to par with, even with Subaru on the Forester. That CVT and that engine, which deliver a similar amount of power and torque, is better behaved. However, ride comfort is very good, especially because the Outlander comes with so much larger wheels and tires than a typical compact crossover does. 20 inches is what you're going to find on the majority of the trims, and really, it's great. This is a pretty comfortable SUV for long highway trips or just around the city because it's not a very big SUV. I think it works pretty well. Driving it in a straight line on highway speeds, it feels very similar to the Rogue Platinum, as you would expect, that top trim. But it also isolates the road better than a lot of the top trims from Honda and Ford. So I got to give it up to Mitsubishi for really calibrating this suspension right. Yeah, acceleration is not a strong point of the Outlander. Once you're up to speed on a back road though, things feel better. For this model year, Mitsubishi has retuned the electric power steering system. It feels fine, off-center, it actually responds well. There's not a lot of play at all, so I like that. Mitsubishi has also completely retuned the stabilizer bars, the shock absorbers, and the dampers, which on the Outlander are already tuned to a different spec than what you'll find on a Nissan Rogue. Minor changes, you may notice them, you may not, but it's nice that a company like Mitsubishi is doing that. Mechanical differences do add up. You may not notice it right away, but I bet if you came from another SUV or a previous Outlander, you would probably know the difference. Another thing that Mitsubishi tunes is the all-wheel drive system. This is still a Nissan-supplied all-wheel drive system, so it's not like the systems they use of old. But Mitsubishi still brands this as super all-wheel control. And so they've changed some of the software to determine how it's going to route that torque. Mitsubishi doesn't say exactly, but it's pretty decent, I gotta say. You're not getting a torque vectoring system like you'll find on Hondas, but it's generally decently reactive, and there are some off-road and sort of rough road modes you can use with the drive mode selector. Mitsubishi uses Nissan's ProPilot Assist. That's the semi-automated driving system. It's not hands-free though. That's only available on the 25 Rogue, and they call it Me Pilot. One button on here, on a marked highway, you'll see it shows up green here as opposed to Nissan's blue when the steering is actually locked in. It's the one difference that you'll really find. But it works decently. For a semi-automated system, especially with a lot of safety features as standard across the board, it's good. The Mitsubishi tunes the all-wheel drive system to mimic its old super all-wheel control system, but there's not enough power to notice anything, and there's not actually real torque vectoring. So that's a shame. And also, the brake pedal is just very soft. There's a long travel on here, and that's odd because it doesn't feel like that in the Nissan Rogue, so this is not a good tuning for the brakes. For 2025, Mitsubishi lowered the entire center console. They made this armrest a little bit longer. Instead of an angle, it's flatter, and now the cup holders have been moved to the far right as opposed to right here, and that means more access to the wireless charger. When you spend money on an Outlander, Mitsubishi at least gives you something pretty. There's quilted stitching on the doors and the seats. There's semi-aniline leather that doesn't really feel all that real, but it's soft, as are the padded surfaces across the dash, lots of tight panel gaps. My favorite here is the speaker cover by Yamaha. That's a new feature for 25, and Mitsubishi went as far as to seal the holes behind the cover, along with putting more damping and reinforcement so it's more rigid for better sound. There's an 8-way power driver's seat on SE trims and above, and on this SEL with the premium package, you're getting cooled front seats. The moonroof does limit headroom in the second row, so you're gonna have to recline. It's this part that gets in the way. But it's a nice standard feature on these upper trims, along with heated outboard seats, a third zone for climate that you can control right here as opposed to just the front, and side window shades. The other benefit for safety on every Outlander, rear side thorax airbags. About the third row, you have to be this tall to the taillight to actually fit back there. Mitsubishi even admits this is more of a jump seat, and you actually have to remove the headrests. Luckily they fit in here to actually fold these seats down flat. But once you do, and put that away, 11 cubic feet behind these seats, 31 when that's folded, and when everything is folded, 64. Standard on every 25 Outlander is this new 12.3-inch touchscreen. It's larger, running Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wirelessly. But the real good feature here, the one I really care about that you can't find in any other car, this Yamaha stereo. Look at all the options, from subwoofer levels to sound types. Check this out. There's an AC compensated volume, and it even compensates for rain. It will sync with the wiper motions to adjust the equalization and the loudness. Pretty impressive, and it actually sounds really good. I'm not even finding this type of feature for rain in a luxury car. They've really sweated the details. The engineers definitely nerded out, and I'm an audiophile, so I totally appreciate that, and it does sound good. Yes, there's some, connectivity and other things like that. Decent camera systems. Physical controls for seek and volume, climate controls are underneath. It's pretty simple, doesn't do that much, but really this is all about the stereo. I think if you really love audio, you're gonna love an Outlander. A full-width digital instrument panel is standard if you order the SE with technology package and all the above trims. Really a lot of different settings that you can adjust in here. Mi Pilot Assist is also available on these upper trims, but unlike the new Nissan Pro Pilot system, it doesn't offer a hands-free option. That's something Nissan has saved for itself, but plenty of standard features, plus on these upper trims, an 11-inch head-up display. And there's also some really cool features here. I like that animation. Does it remind you of anything? I'm seeing the eclipse. There's definitely a reason why Mitsubishi used that graphic. And overall, this dash is actually really easy to use with these thumb wheels and the pads on the side. Really good. You can see everything you want and legibility is pretty perfect. The 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander starts at $30,000. There are 3 trims, and you can get all-wheel drive on all of those trims for $1,800 extra, plus the Platinum Edition, which only comes with all-wheel drive. As tested, the SEL with the Premium package, the Welcome package, which includes a touch-up paint pen and some welcome lighting, just under $45 grand. Plus, the warranty is excellent. A 5-year, 60,000-mile limited warranty, plus 2 years of maintenance, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. The competitors, the Nissan Rogue, Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, basically a dozen and a half cars. The Outlander is Mitsubishi's flagship product. Mitsubishi doesn't really make that many cars or SUVs in significant volume, not like they used to in the 1990s. But if you're looking for a compact SUV, this is the only one at this price with a 3rd row. Yes, it's small, but yes, it's a seat. And there's a lot of value at play with the warranty and everything you're getting inside and out. Among all the compact SUVs out there, which one would you choose? This would be one of them, I think. Go to CarGurus.com, subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can watch way more SUV reviews than you can ever count, and we'll see you next time.